the dance of a deeper explanation. The parable of the hawk. What if I told you that a tiny quail heckling a hawk is actually one of the Buddha's deepest lessons on the nature of practice, craving, and not self? That the story of a bird squawking in a ploughed field can effectively tie the activity of practice with the Buddha's first two discourses. Ambitious, yes. And that's the parable of the hawk. Here's the setup. The quail strays from its proper domain, the ploughed field, and immediately gets snatched up by a hawk. The quail awakens to this new dynamic. Panic sets in. And in that instant, the quail realizes, if I'd just stayed in that field, this couldn't have happened. This is the activity of orienting. The quail, realizing its peril, convinces the hawk to let it go, back into the ploughed field below. The hawk, arrogant, lets the quail go, and the quail darts back to the ploughed field. And from there, the quail doesn't just hide. It actually heckles the hawk. What gives? Taking the ploughed field for the activity of mindfulness, we are to understand that, even here, the sense of self is often still alive and well. Here, even inside the proper domain of mindfulness, the ego celebrates, even mocks its predator. One may be home, and yet the self may still be manifesting. The hawk dives again, and here comes the real lesson of the sutra. In some translations, the quail hides beneath a clod of earth. In others, it disappears inside it. And that difference is huge. Hiding beneath symbolizes the self as still manifesting. Not much of a lesson. Disappearing inside the clod of earth symbolizes the self as dissolved completely into the process of practice. Here, the quail has let go. The hawk smashes itself on the clod of earth, on the teaching of not self. Craving has no target here. Now, let's pause and connect the dots. The Hawk Sutra ends with the Buddha giving a short lecture on sensual pleasure. He warns that chasing pleasure is akin to the quail leaving the ploughed field. That paradoxically, it seems safe enough. The quail moving safely through the tall grass with its many sights and sounds and plenty of hiding spots. But it's the very place Māra, the hawk of craving, strikes hardest. This is nothing less than the second noble truth. That suffering is caused by craving, and one specific craving is that of sensual pleasure. But the parable pushes even further. The quail's disappearance into the clod of earth is the doctrine of not self from the Buddha's second discourse. Body, feelings, perceptions, mental formations, consciousness, none of these can be held as, this is mine, I am this is myself. And so, the quail disappears into the clod of earth that represents that teaching of not self. For the moment, the quail is no longer. The hawk perishes not because the quail fought it off, but because there is no quail for it to catch. So the parable of the hawk isn't about birds at all. It's about practice, craving, and not self. The self wanders, gets caught, wakes up, returns to the activity of mindfulness, and perhaps even congratulates itself. However, it is only when one finally lets go and is completely immersed in the process of practice, that craving is no longer a threat. The quail doesn't win. It simply returns to zero.